Chris, there is no use case for a machine gun in civilian life.
So your boy Chris Cuomo did an interview recently with a representative from Massachusetts by the name of Jake Auchincloss. And yeah, so we're gonna debunk this little interview because he said some really goofy shit.
Those weapons are designed to kill human beings at range and at scale.
Jake, if machine guns have no use case other than to kill at mass, why do our police have them? Why does the FBI have them? The ATF, the Secret Service, the Department of Homeland Security. All of these agencies are trying to kill us, Jake? Is there something you want to tell us? This statement is goofy. Every agency and department I name plays a protective role in civilian life. So if they feel machine guns are useful to protect U.S. citizens, then the use case for civilians owning machine guns is to protect themselves. This isn't rocket science.
Right, I'm with you. I'm just saying that the bump stock was a pretty popular piece of legislation. The court just shot down the legislation. I get that
it was not legislation. It was a regulation.
Right, but it was pretty popular.
Regulation.
I mean, you had Republicans for it also.
It's popular everywhere common sense Americans traffic. It's not popular inside the House of Representatives where MAGA Republicans are bought and paid for by the NRA. We've got a bill to ban bump stocks, 130 Democrats, one single solitary Republican on that bill.
Once again, bump stocks don't turn semi-auto rifles into machine guns any more than the paddles on the steering wheel of an SUV turned it into a race car. Bump stocks simply help the shooter pull the trigger faster, while in turn making the rifle wildly inaccurate. They know this, but they're trying to distract you with the theatrics of a bump stock so you don't pay attention to the constitutional reason why the Republicans and gun owners, who many of which don't even own bump stocks, were against the ban. They tried to ban a bump stock after it was suspected to be used in a mass shooting. If you can ban a piece of plastic after it was used in one shooting, what's to stop you from banning every gun used in a shooting? See what I did there? You're already trying to sue gun manufacturers for every gun used in a shooting. So it's not like this tactic isn't something you all would try to do, because you're currently trying to do it.
They're afraid of the NRA, and they're putting the gun lobby's interests above the interests of children and families.
Or, wait for it, maybe they're afraid of their constituents. You know, the people that voted for them. That's kind of how this whole constitutional republic that we call the United States of America works. Where a country is governed by a constitution that sets the framework for government that protects individual rights. The government is a republic, meaning that citizens elect representatives to make decisions on their behalf. And if the citizens don't like those decisions, we vote them out. The majority of Republican voters did not support the bump stock ban. Therefore, Republican representatives aren't going to support the bump stock ban. For crying out loud, you're in Congress. You should know how this works.
Guns are the leading cause of death, for children in this country right now.
Anti-gun activists like your boy Jake here and the media use misleading stats by combining low firearm death numbers for kids 0 to 14 years of age with higher numbers for teens 15 to 19 years of age to push their own agenda. He claims guns are the top cause of death for children. But for actual children, 0 to 12 years old, car accidents lead. Even for 0 to 17 years old, car deaths outnumber gun deaths. Most firearm deaths occur in 15 to 19 age group due to street crime and lenient policies. Including older teens with young kids is misleading as hell. The facts show guns aren't the leading cause of death among real children, 0 to 17 years old. Nice try though.
They've become a symbol of individual liberty, which is unfortunate. I'm a gun owner, full disclosure, but it is unfortunate. But I also blame the Democrats a little bit in terms of how they've conducted themselves in the debate. It's one of my two beefs with the Democrats. One is how you talk about guns and where they apply and where they don't. And the second is that you guys gave the Republican Party the American flag as their symbol, which I don't understand why it's now accepted that if people see a flag, they think the person's a Republican. How'd that happen?
What the f do you mean, how did that happen? You literally just said that it is unfortunate that guns have become the symbol of individual liberty. The right to keep and bear arms is literally the second thing written in our Bill of Rights, which enumerates our individual liberties. And you're confused as to how the American flag has become a Republican symbol? You just shat on the country's most important individual liberty. That's how the American flag has become the Republican symbol. You goofball.
I proudly display an American flag at my home, and I agree that patriotism should not be a partisan issue.
We can both salute the American flag and agree that patriotism isn't a partisan, except everything you said was based on partisanship. Need I remind you?
It's not popular inside the House of Representatives, where MAGA Republicans are bought and paid for by the NRA. We've got a bill to ban bump stocks, 130 Democrats, one single solitary Republican on that bill.
Jake, just invest in some wet wipes, because you're as full of partisanism as you are full of shit.
I will disagree with you on the guns issue, however. The only time the word regulation appears in the Constitution is to describe how we should approach the handling of weapons by the body politic.
What are you, 12? Are you really implying that a well-regulated in the Second Amendment means gun control? The Second Amendment says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Here is a history lesson. Well-regulated in the 18th century meant well-functioning, not government micromanaged. Any 8th grader would know this. The Bill of Rights was written to tell the government what they can't do, not what they can do. So saying well-regulated means government control makes absolutely no sense.
I served in the Marine Corps for 4.5 years. I know what these weapons can do. I fully support the Second Amendment. The difference is I've just read the darn thing, and I know that it does not give a 19-year-old the right to walk into a Walmart and buy a weapon designed to kill people.
Whoa, calm down, Jake. Don't pull out the 9. However, bragging about reading the Second Amendment isn't the flex you think it is. It's only 27 words, Jake, and you're acting like you just finished reading War and Peace. Read the words of the Second Amendment you may have. Understand it, you did not. But let's be real. You're parroting the talking points given to you by your anti-gun overlords, which is why you say stupid shit like this.
The only time the word regulation appears in the Constitution is to describe how we should approach the handling of weapons.
You say you served in the Marine Corps and you know what weapons can do. Cool story, bro. But saying you support the Second Amendment while arguing a 19-year-old can't buy a gun to protect themselves is like saying you love pizza, but only if it's gluten-free, dairy-free, and tastes nothing like pizza. Jake, all weapons can kill people. Even weapons that aren't weapons can kill people. We know guns are designed to kill people. That's why we want them to stop bad people from trying to kill us. So while we can both proudly wave the flag, let's also honor the full scope of the Second Amendment. It's about preserving the freedoms that folks like you fought to protect. So as much as I thank you for your service, respectfully, f off. Don't let anyone tell you the Second Amendment doesn't protect your right to own an AR-15. The AR-15 is the modern day musket meant for protection. The Second Amendment says, a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It covers arms, not just muskets. So embrace your rights and check out the AR-15 is protected by the Second Amendment gear, hats, shirts, and drinkware at shop.mrcolionnoir.com, or just click the link in the description section of this video. And yes, AR-15s are protected by the Second Amendment, and knowing your rights while also looking good doesn't hurt either. One thing's for certain and two things are for sure. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you, and we're all fighting this culture war together. Now, you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together, we can stop the suppression of our 2A rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.